I still can't believe the Dallas Mavericks did it. They traded away their 25-year-old franchise player who would be a Hall of Famer if he retired today for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and just one first-round pick in 2029. Yeah, we are doing a post-Luka Doncic / Anthony Davis Dallas Mavericks rebuild. This still doesn't even feel real. So what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? We are doing the other side of this massive blockbuster trade. Yesterday, I did do my Luka Doncic Lakers rebuild, and today, we're doing the Dallas Mavericks side of things. And man, is this so risky for Dallas. And you go back to what, like a 34-year-old Kevin Durant and what he went for a couple years ago, where he was traded for basically 5 first-round picks, and they just got one for Luka Doncic. Like, why couldn't Nico Harrison, the GM of the Mavericks, just be like, all right, we're going to do this deal. We also either want a 2026 unprotected pick swap or 2030 pick swap or your 2031 first. If they just asked, or if he just asked for one more of those draft picks, I think Rob Pelinka and the Lakers still would have done this deal. Could this team win the title this year? Yes, 100%. Kyrie and AD are both still in their primes. Are they at the end of their primes? Yes, but they can still win a title in a somewhat wide open Western Conference if you think this team could beat an OKC Thunder team that is still yet to make it to a conference finals, with Shea and Chet Holmgren maybe playing banged up throughout the rest of the year. We will see. And it looks like OKC may not make a trade at the deadline. And yeah, you have Gafford and Lively. AD wanted to play next to a center in LA. It's not happening in LA, but he's going to be playing in the front court with some really good centers. So this is insane. I have to win a title in the next 2 to 3 years, basically, because this team also doesn't own much of their draft capital going forward. They own it in 2025, in 2026, but then in 2027, that is going to go to Charlotte. It's top 2 protected from the PJ Washington trade. In 2028, it's a swap with the Thunder to take on basically the Grant Williams money at that time. And obviously money got rerouted. It was more of a 3-team deal. 2029, this is going to the Rockets. This was sent to the Brooklyn Nets for Kyrie Irving, and then the Nets traded it to Houston in the offseason. And in 2030, their first round pick is also going to the San Antonio Spurs. So they were able to sign Grant Williams a couple off seasons ago, which is also kind of crazy to look back on. So yeah, we have Najee Marshall at 27, Quentin Grimes, a restricted free agent at 24, Klay Thompson at 34 years old. I feel like there's got to be another move to be made for the Mavericks, and I really have no idea what that's going to be, because if Derek Lively wasn't hurt, I think they would have moved Gafford, maybe the landlord, or do they move Derek Lively? I don't know. I mean, we may not even see Anthony Davis play with Gafford before the trade deadline, because Anthony Davis is currently nursing an injury that he suffered recently for the Lakers. So if I want to make another all-in move this year, man, Kyrie Irving also has a player option at the end of the year, and I think Kyrie likes it there. He's been playing some of the best basketball of his career in Dallas, and they did go to the finals last year, but now he doesn't have his co-star, or he's number 1 and he's the number 2, and Luka, he's like the number 1 scoring option now. It's either going to be him or Anthony Davis. Both these guys have been kind of number 2s throughout most of the 2020s, basically. AD was a number 1 in New Orleans, but not being a number 1 basically in LA. Where do we go from here? And I don't love this trade, but there is going to be a trade exception we can use here. I'm going to send off Dante Exum and OMP, Olivier Maxence Prosper, former first-round pick, for Jordan Clarkson, just to get another shooter in the room. And it will be 1-year deal, or 1 year left on his deal after this year at $14 million. I could easily move that in the offseason. I'm just scared about this team going forward in the playoffs. And right now, the Mavericks are a playing tournament team. Like, they have Spencer Dinwiddie. I'm going to have Kyrie at the 1. Like, Kyrie hasn't played a true point guard position in a little bit, I guess, since, the Brooklyn days. But even, James Harden at times there was, the true number 1. I'm going to have Klay be the starting shooting guard, but he's not going to play a ton of minutes there. We're going to have Najee Marshall start at the 3. He's going to play about 25 minutes. And then we're going to have AD and Gafford be the front court duo. PJ Washington, though, I kind of want to, I mean, he's shooting 37% from 3, so I will actually start PJ Washington at the 3, who is a good defender now, and this team is going to be good defensively. But I am scared about what it's going to be offensively at times, because Gafford can't shoot. Who knows? PJ Washington didn't shoot the ball all that well in the conference finals. We'll see what Klay Thompson you get, because it doesn't feel like it's Klay Thompson anymore. They did get Max Christie in this deal, which I did like. Max Christie is a good young player under a nice contract, but it's a little scary going forward with what this team is going to look like post Luka Doncic, their 25-year-old franchise star. Mavericks fans, I know it's been a little bit since this trade happened now, but please let me know your thoughts in the comments. All right, so Jokic wins MVP, and I said this in my Lakers Luka rebuild that came out yesterday, but I could so see the Lakers having a max cap slot basically in the 2027 free agency when Jokic is there, and Jokic and Luka are going to be teaming up finally. So yeah, Anthony Davis on All-NBA second team in a Dallas Mavericks uniform. I know he's got a good relationship with the GM, Nico Harrison, and Jason Kidd, the head coach, and Jared Dudley, an assistant. But you know what? Shout out to AD being like willing to do this trade. Obviously, he doesn't have a no trade clause, so he didn't really have a say. But he's going to be a true professional about this. And you know what? He was incredible for them in 2020 as, wow, the 2K simulation really like the Mavericks in the second half. We finished with a 53-29 record, a 7.3 point differential, and look who's right behind us. So yeah, obviously this doesn't look great as the Lakers ended up playing, 84 games this year. I don't know if that has to do with the NBA Cup. They didn't make it to the NBA Cup Finals, so it wouldn't. But hey, if the Lakers and us win in round 1, we will be playing them in round 2, which will be electric. We're going up against Memphis in round 1, which honestly, in real life, if this happened, I don't know if I'd like Memphis a little bit more, but obviously Dallas would have a ton of size to match up with them inside, led by Kyrie Irving and AD. And I know Kyrie ages very well in 2K. AD, not as much. So what do I want to do for the playoffs? Like Kyrie at the 1. Clay did shoot 40% from 3. I think I'm going to have him at the 2. PJ Washington at the 3. I think like AD and Kyrie each have to play a decent amount of minutes. Gafford and Lively are just going to be doing the 24 minutes thing. But honestly, I got to trade one of them. I'd probably get more in return for Lively, but he's 21. But hey, if the window's right now, do I keep Gafford and trade Lively for like a stud wing? I'm not against it. I'm really not. Like, I got to win a title sooner than later, and I really can't mess around. So I'm going to have Quentin Grimes as a 6th man. I just trust his shooting a little bit more. Jordan Clarkson, if you're not knocking down your shots, you are probably not going to play for us in the playoffs. Max Christie, I'm going to play you over Jaden Hardy, but please don't prove me wrong. I'm actually going to go, I don't know, I guess 24 minutes to these guys. We'll actually go 30 to Washington, and we'll do 29 to Washington, 29 to Clay. I'm scared, man. And here we go, taking on Memphis in round number 1. We do win game 1, 137-100. Okay, PJ Washington, 5 blocks and 5 turnovers in this game. He took 18 shots. AD did have 27. There's a chance we could trim the rotation down as we get further and further in the playoffs. But hey, PJ Washington, we're getting like that OKC series PJ Washington here in round 1. Also, shout out to Quentin Grimes, knocking down 10 free throws here. Game number 3 goes to the Dallas Mavericks, 143-103. 49 for Kyrie Irving, and we are up 3-0. AD, obviously an elite 2-way player for us in round 1. And we do not blow a 3-0 lead. We sweep the Memphis Grizzlies. But unfortunately, the Lakers ended up losing to their LA rival, the LA Clippers, in round 1. So we will not be getting a Lakers-Mavericks round 2 series. But honestly, this is a very favorable matchup for us. I do think we can beat the Clippers. I mean, can PJ Washington guard Kawhi? It's going to be tough. Can Clay, Quentin Grimes, Max Christie guard Harden? We'll see. But we do win game 1, and we are 5-0 in the playoffs. I really hope that Kyrie and AD stay healthy, man, because I want to see those two in the playoffs as like a non-playing tournament team. But hey, what if they are a playing tournament team and they end up as like the 8th seed and we get them versus OKC in round 1? That would be insane. 141-133. Well, would you look at that? We're 7-0 to start off the playoffs. 8-0 to start off the playoffs. All right. 2K may be a fan of the Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis combo. Quentin Grimes, I mean, he's shooting 40% from 3, 39% from the field. Najee Marshall was really struggling to hit a shot. To be honest with you, I'm not playing around. I know we're undefeated, but I am going to remove him from the rotation. We're going to stick with the 9-man then. We're going to give Clarkson maybe 15 minutes, Max Christie 15 minutes. Let's go 40 to AD and Kyrie. And just like the way PJ Washington has been playing in the playoffs, he's going to get 33 minutes a night. So we're going to be taking on most likely OKC. As I say that, Minnesota won 3 games in a row, and we're going to be taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right, so it is a rematch of last year's conference finals. Karl-Anthony Towns no longer in Minnesota. Luka Doncic no longer in Dallas. Game 1 goes to the Mavericks. We are 9-0 so far in the playoffs. 11 of 16 from the free throw line for AD. Game 2 goes to the Dallas Mavericks. We won by 30. Can I take credit for this team's playoff run with only making the Jordan Clarkson trade? Game 3 goes to Dallas, 122-108. 32 points for Kyrie Irving, 21 for Anthony Davis, and we are going to sweep them. We're 12-0. What? All right, 12-0 in these playoffs. Anthony Davis gets conference finals MVP. Tatum in the East. It is a collision course. The Celtics almost lost in round 2, but swept the Knicks in the conference finals. All right, so it is a rematch of the 2024 NBA Finals, but this team does look a little bit different, and we are now... Okay, we are 13-0. Kyrie just dropped 57. He is not having what happened last year happen again. There is our first playoff loss. We lose by 14 to the Boston Celtics, and we are tied 1 game apiece. Damn. Klay Thompson and PJ Washington combined 6 of 32 shooting. Oh my God, Klay went 0 of 10 from 3. Game 3 goes to the Celtics, 132-118. damn. Who is struggling here in the playoffs? I mean, Clay was good in this game. PJ Washington, of course, is struggling in the finals now. Game number 4, that is a massive win. If we went down 3-1, I would have maybe been like, all right, we were going to get through the Western Conference, but we had no chance against Boston. We do take a 3-2 lead. Oh my God, 164-130. AD with 35. Kyrie with 31. Clay stepping up. PJ stepping up. Clarkson stepping up as well. Here we go. Game 6 of the 2025 NBA Finals. Are we going to Game 7, or can we win on our home floor? Let's see. We're up by 2. We're up by 4. Up by 5. Oh my God, we're up by 9 with 90 seconds to go. We got Anthony Davis, 33, 10, and 8, guarding Jason Tatum right now. Tatum gets to the rim. You're not finishing against Derek Lively, PJ Washington, and Anthony Davis. Did Kyrie Irving foul out? No, he's out there. Okay, so Jordan Clarkson, 20 in this one. Kyrie's got 40, and you're expecting PJ Washington to guard Kyrie Irving? Okay, let's see. Kyrie's just going to get right by him with ease. Yep, that is going to be so easy. Anthony Davis, 3-ball. Anthony Davis, 3-ball for the dagger. Come on, AD. Oh, Lively with the rebound. Let's go. And he puts it back. Puts us up by 11. There we go. Lively on the cleanup crew. Peyton Pritchard just missed a 3, and AD picked up his 11th rebound in this one. Yeah, not a bad pickup here. Kyrie Irving for 3. Catch and shoot. That's his shot. Bang. That is the dagger. 146-132 with 36 seconds left. And the Dallas Mavericks are going to win the 2025 finals. So Mavericks fans, I hope I'm going to make you feel a little bit better. I know it's not going to make you feel all the way better after that deal that went down, because I don't know what you would feel. Like, we watched Karl-Anthony Towns get traded, and Timberwolves fans were gutted by that. I think this is worse because Luka was better than Karl-Anthony Towns, is better than Karl-Anthony Towns, is the #1 option, and is 25 years old. He'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer if he retired today. AD over Tatum, no good, but Lively's right there, and we are going to dribble it out, and the Dallas Mavericks are going to win it all in year number 1. I'm not going to be done there. I'm going to want to win multiple titles in this video, but I'm glad that we were able to get it done in year number 1. And I think it is possible for Dallas to win it all in 25. They need Lively to be healthy. I think they need to add a little bit more defense. But then again, I think they could probably use more consistent offense now that Luka is gone. You never know with Clay and his age. How are Najee Marshall, PJ Washington, Quentin Grimes, Jaden Hardy going to shoot in the playoffs? So I think it would be big for them to add somebody like Jordan Clarkson. I think they could aim a little bit bigger. Brandon Ingram would be really cool. And Finals MVP is going to be Anthony Davis. Wow. Did that make it okay? I think so. Yeah, no, they get a ring. Then you could always be like, we would never have won it with Luka Doncic. You could say that, even though I think they could have won a title with Luka in Dallas. I feel like he was going to get at least one in his career in Dallas. I mean, they did get blown out in most of the games against Boston, but hey, they made it to the NBA Finals last year. PJ Washington got better this year. Daniel Gafford got better this year. You still have Lively and a ton of other role players around Luka and Kyrie. I'm really shocked, man, they made this deal. But hey, Luka Doncic and the Mavericks, it's never happening again. I'm sure Mavericks fans, oh my God, they got to be so upset about that. But that's in the past. We are moving on. Like I said, this team doesn't own much of their draft capital after 2025 and 2026. So our first round pick is going to be 30 on the night of the 2025 draft. Jason Kidd gets a ring. Like I said, the job is not finished. We're trying to get multiple rings in this video. Like I said, Brandon Ingram would have been like a fun addition to this team, but you'd have to trade away Daniel Gafford and Clay. I mean, I guess if there's that trade exception that you can use, but I think if you did that for like somebody like Clarkson and then rerouted Clarkson, that wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't be able to make that right away. You'd have to wait a certain amount of time, and then you can't aggregate the player. It's kind of like what's going on with Dennis Schroeder. Unless you would want to move PJ Washington and Clay for Brandon Ingram, man, I don't know. That's a lot of depth. But Brandon Ingram did sign an extension with the Pelicans, so we're gonna basically act like we're making a trade and a sign and trade with him there. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna move Daniel Gafford. I don't know if we're selling high on him, but Derek Lively's 21 years old. I do want to look into I mean, he's 5 years younger than Gafford, but the Pelicans, I'm sure, would be all over Daniel Gafford in a Brandon Ingram trade. So let's say we did Clay and Daniel Gafford for Brandon Ingram. They are going to say no to that. I'd like to hold on to my first. I would include like Jaden Hardy in this deal as well. They can't do that financially. Oh God. All right. Could I trade you pick 55? Could I trade you pick 37? Jeez, I don't really have many firsts to work with here. So I'll give you my 2026 first as well. They agree to that. All right. Now we're creating a big three of Brandon Ingram, Kyrie Irving, and Anthony Davis. You know what? I don't hate it. As Cooper Flagg is going to be a Chicago Bull. He gave me a lot of trouble in that Luka Doncic Lakers rebuild. And I took Ryan Kalkbrenner, the center out of Creighton, to be the backup center next year. He's going to be a good rim protector for us. He's probably going to play like 13 to 15 minutes a night because Derek Lively's going to be the full-time starting 5, and I do wonder if there's some lineups that in the playoffs the Mavericks just go back to AD at the 5, and they have PJ and Najee and Grimes and some like sort of combination between those guys out there. And I know Derek Queen was on the board, but I don't think he's realistically making it to 30. But yeah, I wanted to get Kalkbrenner. So Kyrie opts out. I think us winning a title helps that out a little bit more. But like, you never know with Kyrie. What if he leaves you in the offseason? I know there's not many teams that have cap space. It's pretty much just like the Nets, the Wizards, maybe in a way, and then the Detroit Pistons, and I don't think he's signing with Detroit. Obviously, he's probably not going back to Brooklyn. But yeah, we got to pay Kyrie Irving a lot of money to come back to Dallas. Nobody really offered him a real deal. So 5 years, $265 million for Kyrie is kind of insane. We're also going to give Quinn and Grimes 3 years, $27 million. And we're also signing Nickeil Alexander-Walker, a good role player from the Minnesota Timberwolves, to a 2-year deal. So looking at the team next year, it's going to be Kyrie at the 1. If I make him a point guard, does his overall go down? No, it actually goes up. All right, you don't normally see that when you move somebody from shooting guard to point guard. But yeah, it's going to be Kyrie at the 1. I think I'm going to start Grimes at the 2. Christie's going to get a ton of minutes. Clarkson, he could be a trade deadline deal. Ingram at the 3, Najee off the bench, AD at the 4, Washington off the bench, which is nice, and then Lively's going to be at the 5. So AD regression is happening. He is down to a 93 overall. Kyrie still at a 92. There's Ingram, Lively, and Grimes all going up. Najee and PG go down for some reason. Clarkson regressing as well. So we are going to pay Derek Lively on an extension as well. We're going to give him about $26 million a year throughout the next 4 years. So he's under contract for the next 6 years. I didn't have to do that right now, but we're going to lock him up. Let's lock up PJ Washington on a new 3-year extension. I feel like he'd get more or around the mid-level. An AD we don't really have to work on right now. Let's see if we can go back-to-back here in the West. And Steph Curry is going to retire. Just seemed like something. It's like, yeah, they get LeBron to pair up with Luka at the end of his career. And the Warriors get like Guy Santos or Dennis Schroeder for Steph Curry. So looking at the team right now, I think Jaden Hardy can probably be at the end of the rotation. Najee Marshall, I think, and Hardy could get probably 13 minutes apiece. Let's go 17 to Max Christie. PJ Washington could be the 6th man at around 24 minutes a night. Let's go 30 to Lively. We can go 35 to AD and Kyrie for the regular season. And I'd also like to go 35 to Ingram as well. 26 to Grimes is fine. I don't think Alexander Walker or Jordan Clarkson is going to crack the rotation. I'm going to go 12 to Kalkbrenner. I think Clarkson is going to be a trade candidate with his $14 million at the deadline. It is expiring. Balanced under Jason Kidd is 4 stars. And first game of the year at home against the Hawks. We ended up losing by 14, but hopefully this team is going to be fine throughout the regular season. And we ended up beating Memphis, but then losing to the Pelicans. All right, a 1-2 start, maybe a little bit of a finals hangover right now. And this team is not having much of a finals hangover. We are in a groove. We have a 16-point differential, top of the Western Conference right now. Kyrie said, I don't need Luka. I can be the number 1, 23, 4, and 5, 1 steal a night. He's almost 50, 40, 90 with his efficiency. Quinn and Grimes, I could look for an upgrade at the deadline. I think in this spot, I'd still like to keep Quinn and Grimes around. Brandon Ingram, I think it's a good add. 21, 6, and 5. 48, 36, 83 splits. Anthony Davis still giving me 20 and 10 every night, 3.1 stocks, and Derek Lively's averaging a double-double with 1.5 blocks per game. PJ Washington's knocking down 39% of his threes. Still like Max Christian, he's still incredibly young as well, 22 years old. There's Najee Marshall. Jaden Hardy, 51, 40, 73 splits, and then Kalkbrenner, maybe he's a fine backup center. I'm going to make sure he's not taking any more threes. But I think guys like Najee Marshall and Jordan Clarkson could be on the move at the deadline. All right, we're going to get even more offense with this deal. Najee Marshall, Jordan Clarkson, and a swap in 2028 going to the Kings for Tyus Jones and Malik Monk. Malik Monk is going to be our starting shooting guard going forward. I do think I'm going to reroute Tyus Jones, and this could be somewhat of like a 3-team trade. I'm trying to get Nick Richards just to be an upgrade over Kalkbrenner for the playoffs, but I don't want to give up a first-round pick. And the Utah Jazz are just not willing to bring back Walker Kessler. It's funny, I had to give up a first-round pick for this exact package to Phoenix for Nick Richards, but I just have to give up a second to get Walker Kessler, who was an insane upgrade over Ryan Kalkbrenner as the backup center for the playoffs. Like, that is going to be a massive upgrade for us. So Malik Monk's going to be the starting 2. Obviously, he could be an elite 6-man for us. We are going to play Walker Kessler a decent amount of minutes, and that means like Lively's going to probably not play as much. Like Lively about 28. Let's go about 20 to Walker Kessler. This is all for the regular season. Max Christie, we're going to lower a little bit, and then I got about 11 more minutes to play with. Let's go 36 to the big 3. Let's go 32 to Monk. And then, oh wait, no, I don't have that many minutes to play with. Sorry. Let's go 35 there. 35 there. Let's go 25 to Monk. And then the final 12, I'm going to give it to Quentin Grimes. And hopefully his efficiency will go up. Because I think one of Christie, Hardy, and Grimes will not play in the playoffs. And we are going to end the season with over 60 wins. 63-16 in the final week. We blow out the Clippers. We blow out the Suns. And we blow out the Jazz to go 66-16 this year. I think Jason Kidd could get Coach of the Year. Wemby, yeah, the league is his. He's MVP. Rookie of the Year is Cooper Flagg. Josh Giddey, 6th Man of the Year. Wemby wins Depoy. Marcus Sasser, Most Improved. Luka Doncic is your Clutch Player of the Year over in LA. Incredible numbers. But yeah, Jason Kidd gets Coach of the Year. All-NBA first team, you got Wemby, Luka, Jokic, Giannis, and Shea. So we get no Dallas Mavericks on first team or second team. Or third team as well. No Kyrie, no Ingram, no Anthony Davis. AD does make it on all defensive second team. But we are the 1 seed going up against Malik Monk's former team, the Sacramento Kings. I really tried to get Keon Ellis because I think he could be good next to Kyrie Irving. But I think we're fine going forward. So yeah, we're going up against Klay Thompson, who got rerouted there. He had a good year for the Kings. Spencer Dinwiddie is there, Najee Marshall. So and Jordan Clarkson, a lot of former Dallas Mavericks playing on that Kings squad. We had 2 20-point per game scorers, Kyrie and Ingram. AD at 33, showing some signs of regression. There's Malik Monk, who obviously is a fantastic scorer, almost 50, 40, 90 himself. Lively's going to be the starting 5 in the playoffs. Washington, 40% from 3. Grimes ended at 36% from 3. And what I like about Kessler, he is a restricted free agent. I could just do a sign and trade, and that could be a $30 million outward contract that we can get for a shooting guard partner next to Kyrie. Or if we wanted it, yeah, that's probably what we'd go after, which we could make this team even better going forward because we don't really have draft capital, so I need to keep improving it over time. Max Christie, Jaden Hardy, or Quentin Grimes. Who do I want to leave out? I think I'm going to leave out Quentin Grimes for the playoffs, unfortunately. So Hardy's going to get about 10 minutes tonight. I think we're going to go about 18 to Kessler, 30 to Lively, 25 to PJ's fine, 13 to Christie. We can maybe go 15 to Christie. And then for the playoffs, I'd like to go 38 to the big 3. And then let's go 28 minutes to Malik Monk. I know the backcourt defense of Kyrie and Monk could be a little iffy, but I don't know if it's going to matter. As Kyrie drops 47 in game 1. Game number 2, Ingram drops 29. We beat him by 20. Game 3 goes to the Dallas Mavericks. We win by 17. And Kyrie fouled out in 28 minutes there. Are we going to sweep them? Yes, we do. So back-to-back years, we sweep the round 1 series. Kyrie dropped 32. But we are taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder next. A good team. They still have Chet, J-Dub, Dort, Wallace, Shea, Hartenstein. Oh, they brought back an old friend in Josh Giddey. They somehow signed him in the offseason. And it's a rematch of the 2024 Western Conference semifinals. Ingram, great debut game. 31 points, 10 of 13 shooting. Game 2 goes to the Mavericks. It is funny, though, like Ingram and AD on the same team because they were both traded for each other back in that summer of 2019. Game 3 goes to the Mavericks, 40 for Kyrie. And are we about to sweep the first 2 rounds? Oh, my God. So for the second year in a row, we sweep the first 2 rounds. And that includes a win over the OKC Thunder. So we're taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves in the conference finals for the 3rd straight year. They've picked up Dalton Connect along the way. The Lakers ended up not even making it into the play-in tournament. Damn. With Luka and no LeBron, they ended up going 29-53. I mean, I don't even know if Luka could carry this team into the playoffs. It's not very good. So here we go. You got the Pacers and the Nets over in the Eastern Conference Finals. We are now 9-0 in the playoffs. Ingram with 32, 80 with 22, 12 rebounds for Lively, 33 for Kyrie. Game 2, we end up winning 121-112. 33 for Kyrie, 24 for Brandon Ingram. Game 3 goes to the Mavericks as Ingram drops 26. Lively, 24 and 10. And can we end up sweeping them? Oh my God, we are 12-0. We have dominated, absolutely dominated the Western Conference side of things here in this video. We're taking on the Indiana Pacers in the NBA Finals. I don't see how we lose. Malik Monk, I'm going to need you to be a little bit better. Same with you, PJ Washington. Oh my God, they were like Max Christie, 31% from the field. Hardy, 40%. PJ, 21. Malik Monk, 37%. And we still swept them. So here we go. Game number 1 goes to the Dallas Mavericks, 132-115. All right, AD, 10 of 10 from the free throw line, 13-0. Game number 2 goes to the Pacers. So this is what happened last year. I believe we were 13-0 to start off last year's playoffs, right? And then the Celtics beat us. So the Pacers beat us there. We do go up 2-1. We win by 6. Halliburton had 40. Lively had a double-double. Game number 4 goes to the Mavericks, 141-117. I think I'm going to go back-to-back here. Oh my God, I just went 16-1. You know what? Hopefully this makes you feel a little bit better, Mavs fans, because we have been dominating this video, and Brandon Ingram is your finals MVP. So AD's getting older, Kyrie's getting older, Ingram's in his prime right now, so he's kind of carrying us a little bit offensively. Not carrying us, but operating as the number one. Kessler was obviously a great backup center ad, but I don't think I could afford him and Lively. But the thing with Lively is he's only making $7 million next year, and then the extension kicks in. So, I mean, theoretically, I could afford both of them. Steph Curry ends up retiring. Paul George retires on the Nuggets. There goes Tristan Thompson, Klay Thompson as well, Kelly Olynyk. So a couple of guys will get their jersey retired by the Golden State Warriors, and that is going to be both Splash Brothers. The Thunder are going to get even better. They end up with the number one pick. We do have to give the Pelicans pick 30 from the Brandon Ingram trade. So the Thunder do add AJ Debance. They could really have like Shea, either Kaysen Wallace or Vu Dort at the 2, and then Debance, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren. That's kind of filthy. So team player options, we don't have any right now. Luka, imagine he leaves the Lakers. That would be funny, and I'm sure that would make Mavericks fans feel a little bit better. We are going to extend the qualifying offer to Walker Kessler. Yeah, how does Luka not have a real offer yet? Lakers, what are you doing? So we are going to renounce the rights on Kyler Kelly, on Elijah Harkless as well. So we're pretty much just going to see anybody going to offer Kessler a deal. It doesn't look like it. I think I'm just going to give Kessler a 2-year deal worth around $25 million each year. And I'm sure he's going to accept that deal. He does. And then, like, if we wanted to next offseason to trade away Walker Kessler, as Luka still hasn't signed with the team yet. It looks like he's going to go back to the Lakers for 4 years, 207, right? Okay, he does go back to the Lakers. That would be crazy if he didn't. They also signed Shaedon Sharpe this offseason, and the Thunder did bring back Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams as well. So AD is still regressing a little bit. He does have 1 year left on his deal. He does have a player option next year. Kyrie somehow progressing at age 34. You love to see it. Ingram 86, Kessler 86, Lively 86 as well. And let's give AD an extension over 2 years. Yeah, we're a second apron team. I don't care. We're trying to win multiple championships here in Dallas, and we already did so. I have yet to lose in this video so far. We've won the first 2 years. We just like have so much depth on this team right now. I don't even know what to do. I think we're going to go about 10 minutes a night to Jaden Hardy. I think we're going to try to go a decent amount to PJ Washington still. Quentin Grimes, you're not going to play as much. So let's do something like this. Lively, you're going to get 30 minutes a night. I'm just going to go like, I don't know, maybe we do something like this. And then I may end up moving Walker Kessler at the deadline. We'll see. 33 to AD, 35 to Ingram. I'm fine with 26 to Monk, 35 to Kyrie. I got about 3 more minutes left. Like, yeah, no minutes for Kalk. I'll give Nah like 3 minutes, so we'll technically go an 11-man rotation. I do think I'm actually going to be active at the deadline, no matter what our record is, just because, like, I mean, we could re-sign Malik Monk. He does have a player option. Max Christie has a player option as well. And Nah is a free agent at the end of the year, but this is where I could move Kessler. But obviously, Lively's contract extension doesn't kick in until next year, so we could just move Kessler in the offseason. And the team is 38-14 at the trade deadline with a 14.1 point differential. I mean, Malik Monk is like just a secondary scoring option. Pretty good player. Like, really good player, actually. It's just we have a high standard here of Dallas Mavericks basketball now. Like, I think I'm going to move Walker Kessler. I do. Quentin Grimes is hitting his 3-point shots again at a 42% clip. Max Christie, I mean, he's still just 23 years old. I don't know if I'm going to move him. PJ Washington, I feel like we got to keep him around. I don't know. I think I'm going to make a move at the deadline. I don't know what it's going to be for yet. It could be kind of big. All right, I'm going to try to move Walker Kessler for Derek White, because just Derek White in between Kyrie Irving and Brandon Ingram could be electric for this team. They don't want to do that. I would be like willing to throw in Nickeil Alexander-Walker. It's tough because the Celtics really don't have too much to work financially, and I have no, like, I don't want to take on Drew Holiday. What about if we throw in Cody Zeller? First round pick for Neemias Queta. You know what? Let's do this trade. Welcome to the Dallas Mavericks, Derek White. And then we are going to send Malik Monk, although it is to a team we could be playing in the playoffs, but getting Isaiah Hartenstein as the backup center, that's also kind of elite. I just haven't had like a care in the world about draft picks in this video. So yeah, Derek White is going to be the starting shooting guard. Just how good he's going to be defensively in between those guys is going to be so much fun. Hartenstein's probably going to get like 18 minutes a night. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to play Kalkbrenner. Definitely not Neemias Queta. And then the bench is going to be like Grimes, Christie, Washington, Hartenstein, and Hardy. I don't know if all 5 of those will be playing in the playoffs, but Kyrie, White, 2 former Celtics, Ingram, AD, and Lively as your starting 5 is also elite. 5-star system proficiency. This has been a perfect rebuild so far. It really has been perfect. We've gone 2 for 2 in seasons and winning the NBA title. All right, Jokic does win MVP in Denver. Cameron Boozer, Rookie of the Year. Yegor Demon, 6th Man of the Year. Wemby Depoy, Most Improved goes to Edgecombe, and Cam Thomas, Most Improved. As Jason Kidd, back-to-back Coach of the Years. I think we won 4 less games this year, but he still takes home that award. We don't get anybody on All-NBA first team, second team, or third team. Is Anthony Davis still a top 10 defender in the sport? Unfortunately, oh, no, just kidding. He's still there. Yep, AD, man. That's a really good year 15 for a big man in this league. I will take that every day of the week. We are taking on the Sacramento Kings again in round 1. Oh my God. Yeah, this lineup's going to be barbecue chicken for us. Like, yeah, they still have Fox and Sabonis. They got Najee Marshall there. I feel bad, Najee, but we are going to destroy that team with how deep and well-balanced this team is right now. I actually don't think I'm playing Max Christie in the playoffs, which is kind of unfortunate because if he's not knocking down his shots, I'm just not going to play him. That's just how it goes. We have a high standard here of Dallas Mavericks basketball. I wonder, like, what Mark Cuban felt like when this deal was going to go down. Like, he's no longer like a decision maker there. He's no longer the owner of the team. So it's just kind of mind blowing. I'm going to go 32 minutes to Lively, 16 to Hartenstein, 16 to Washington, 15 to Jaden Ivey. We're going to go 20 to Grimes, and then I got about 8 more minutes. Let's go 38 to Kyrie. Let's go 38 to Ingram, and then 35 to AD. We'll stick at 30 to Derek White. We should sweep this Kings team. The fact that they won game 1, scaring me a little bit, honestly. I'll have to check the box score of that game. Ingram averaged 25 points across 40 minutes in that series. Did struggle at times with his efficiency. Game 1, we ended up losing in overtime by 3. Fox had 49. So now we're taking on the San Antonio Spurs in round 2. Dennis Schroeder, Devin Vassell, Alex Karaban, Jabari Smith Jr., and Wemby. I mean, it's not really the best team in the world around Wemby. I do think we could beat them, and we beat that Texas team in 5. And once again, we're in the conference finals. Ingram has been an elite pickup for us, at least here in the playoffs this year. Obviously, we won the finals last year with him. And we're taking on OKC. We did give them Malik Monk. Did they trade Malik Monk for Sohan? No, they still have Monk coming off the bench. They have Mitchell Robinson. We know they drafted DeBansa. And then you got Chicago with Cooper Flagg against Cade in Detroit. We do win game 1 by 10. Kyrie with 24. Ingram with 22, 10, and 5. We do win game 2. We do lose game 3, but win game 4. And the Dallas Mavericks are just back in the NBA Finals. This is unreal, man. Anthony Davis, Conference Finals MVP. Cooper Flagg as well. So I lost to Cooper Flagg and the Bulls in my Luka Lakers rebuild, which caught me by surprise. And they have Flagg and Boozer. This has to be a terrible defensive backcourt. But Flagg and Boozer, are you kidding me? Okay, I'm nervous. I feel like they're going to beat me. And they win game 1 by 5. 2K is going to give them such the edge. I don't know why they like them so much, but it's going to happen. 114-93, we do win game 2. Game number 3 goes to Dallas, 121-114. AD with 28 and 14. Kyrie with 24 and 7. Okay, we're up 3-1. AD with 34. Ingram with 24. Guys, we are dominating this video. Oh my god, I just went 16 and 4. We won every single series in 5 games. I've done 3 years of this Anthony Davis Mavericks rebuild, and I've won the title every single year. This has been an absolute elite rebuild so far. Mavericks legend Dorian Finney-Smith and Dwight Powell end up retiring. There goes James Harden and Jimmy Butler. The Mavericks have been running the league because if you take into account the 2024 finals appearance, that's 4 straight finals appearances, and we just three-peated. So we owe Pat Riley a lot of money because apparently he has trademarked the term three-peat. Obviously, we don't own our first-round pick. That's going to go to the Hornets at 30. Hey, 30th pick and Grant Williams basically for PJ Washington. That's a great trade for us. Now that we know the final results of it. And we didn't have any second-round picks either. The number 1 pick was Anton Semenko, out of Ukraine, front court guy to the Pelicans. Looks pretty good. Max Christie opts out. Okay. We should have bird rights to bring him back. I'm hoping the Lakers don't somehow end up with Jokic or Giannis. Yep, we're going to give Max Christie kind of an overpay. 4 years, $74 million. Yeah, that's a little rich, but I kind of have to do it because if anything, he at least becomes a trade asset for us. And we're also signing Keldon Johnson to a 3-year deal worth $15 million. Just taking a chance on him. Okay, Giannis joins Cooper Flagg and Cameron Boozer in Chicago. We may be screwed. That's unreal. Trae Young goes to the Clippers. It's funny, too, because Trae Young outlasted Luka after they were both traded for each other on the night of the 2018 draft. Nobody would have expected that. AD regressing, Derek White regressing, Kyrie somehow getting better at 35 years old. You love to see it. And I think I'm going to operate with the same starting 5 this year. I think Lively's going to start at the 5. Hartenstein coming off the bench. Big year for like Max Christie. Hopefully he can turn into something for us. I'm going to go 15 to Hardy. I don't think I'm going to play PJ Washington this year. I'm going to go like 10 to Keldon Johnson just to see what he can do. 35 to Kyrie. Let's go 30 to, honestly, 28 to White. 34 to Ingram, 30 to AD. He can cruise throughout the regular season as he's getting up there in age. But hopefully, we can now win 4 in a row. We did beat the Bulls to start off the year, but I'm worried about them. They're really good. And Jokic does win MVP this season at the end of 2028. Cam Kuzer's coming off the bench. I don't know why you wouldn't start him. And, well, they also signed Giannis as well. That team is insane. They only won 61 games throughout the regular season. Cooper Flagg ended up on All-NBA first team. We didn't get anybody on an All-NBA team. The Thunder had a couple guys. No Shea. Okay, no Shea, but Chet and DeBansa both made it. Chet on all defensive first team. We didn't get anybody on the all defensive teams this year as we ended up as a 7th seed in the Western Conference. So we don't end up making it to the playoffs like a top 6 seed. We go 48-34, which is still very respectable, but that is 14 wins less from last year. The rest of the league is catching up. But hey, 5 wins better than the Lakers as the 8th seed. And it is cool that we're going up against the Lakers here in the play-in tournament. Yeah, AD kind of regressing a little bit at 35. I am going to have to rely like one more fantasy run basically on these guys. I don't think I'm going to play Keldon Johnson in the playoffs. I think Jaden Hardy can get around 15 minutes a night. Pretty efficient player. Quentin Grimes, about 15 minutes a night. Also an efficient player. Hey, Max Christie learned how to shoot. He's going to get 20 minutes. And we're going to go about 15 to Hartenstein, which means 33 to Lively. Let's go 35 to AD. 38 to Ingram. 38 to Kyrie. 31 to Derek White, who... maybe we bought in at the wrong time on Derek White. I thought he'd be a good connecting piece. Hey, we did win the finals last year with them, and I think we should be okay here against the Lakers. I actually wanted to see their team, Shaedon Sharpe, Luka. They do have Benedict Mathurin, Caleb Wilson, Lou Dort, Bronny James getting notable minutes on the team. Go figure. We actually have a very close game right here. Are we going to win in advance to be the 7th seed? Oh my God, we go to overtime. Ugh. I mean, we were tied at halftime, only up by 1 at the end of the third, but I feel like we did just blow that lead there in the 4th quarter. Ingram dropped 31. It was not enough. So backs against the wall. We're taking on Memphis or Portland. It's going to be Memphis, who we beat back in year number 1 in round 1. They got Bryson Tilley. I think it's Bryson Tiller, his actual name is, not the rapper. And then Zach Edey in the front court. All right, we are down. But, oh, man, what a way to go out. You know what? Maybe I don't even want to lose a playoff series. Let's just lose in the play-in tournament. All right, so our run, our three-peat run is over. AD, Lively, Ingram, we couldn't get it done. Desmond Bane drops 24, John Morant 23 and 15. And the Dallas Mavericks, who three-peated. We won the 25, 6, and 7 titles to start up this video. We don't make the playoffs fully in 2028. We lose in the play-in tournament. It's a new league now. Cooper Flagg versus Wemby. And Cooper Flagg outduels Wemby, so the 2025 number 1 pick beats the 2023 number 1 pick. And Flagg is your finals MVP. I mean, Flagg, Giannis, Cameron Boozer, that's an insane trio. San Antonio's got a good team. They do. Jeremiah Fears on that team as well. But I worry about the Mavericks' future post-AD and Kyrie, because you always said Luka. He's 25. You're going to be fine with him for the next 10 years. You drafted maybe a generational talent. Yeah, I would say so. He's generational. And then you traded him away for Anthony Davis, who felt like a generational talent at one point. So, I don't know. Mavericks fans, you got to let me know what you think down below. And not just Mavericks fans, but Lakers fans or just NBA fans. Let me know what you guys think about this trade, and maybe you had a little bit more time to sit on it. Let me know down below. Drop a thumbs up if you guys did enjoy. Subscribe for content all NBA trade deadline season long. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.